week 6 of marathon training. This thing is flying. I'm not sure where I got the math wrong on my weeks because I thought I only had 8 weeks for marathon training. I was doing some counting, and I'm not sure if I skipped that first week or if I wasn't counting the end of it for a taper, but it looks like it's going to end up being like a 9-week marathon training. But we're heading into the halfway to the holidays marathon, which is in Johnstown, Ohio. It'll be our first Ohio race. We're going to do 2 back-to-back races. We're going to do Johnstown, Ohio marathon, followed the very next week, actually 8 days later, I'll be going to Little Miami, which I'm not sure if that's an official town in Ohio, but we'll be driving back out the following week to do a 10K. And then I'm researching and trying to scrape money together for one more Ohio race. My last Ohio race, which I should have actually ran a couple weeks ago, that got canceled. It was the Heat Wave half marathon. So I'm looking for a half marathon in Ohio that I can run between August 2nd and end of October. And there's one I'm looking at very closely. I think it's in Cleveland. It's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame half marathon, and that's pretty close to where I am, so that would be an easy drive. And I think time-wise, in terms of where it is between now and the Marine Corps Marathon, I think that's not a bad place to slip it in there. But I'm trying to find a half marathon in Ohio. Any suggestions? I'll take them. So, but week 6 of training, I'll tell you, running in this heat was not fun. I went out on Saturday for my long run, did another 17. There's a route that I'm doing that has a lot of elevation. I think it's got like 3,000 feet of elevation. It's a road run basically. And I run all the way to the end of this one street in my town, and then I run back. And I went out, I think I left at like 10:30, which is just a fool's errand on these hot days, because you don't get home till like 2 or 3 in the afternoon when you do that. I guess it was probably about 11 when I left, about 3.5 hour run. And it was hot. But the neat thing about it is the first time I ran this route, I almost didn't finish it. I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago. I called my son, and he was at camp, so he wasn't able to come and get me. So I just had to walk the last few miles, but I did it. So I was like, okay, now that I've accomplished it, we keep going. So then on my birthday, there's a huge hill in the middle of this run. So I just ran that hill for my birthday to try to get used to running that. And then I think I've run that Saturday I ran it again. So I think I've run this route like 3 times. I'm getting used to it. What I want to try today, so today's Saturday, July 4th. By the way, happy Independence Day, everybody who's in the U.S., which I am. So celebrate that freedom, have fun, be safe. But today or tomorrow, whenever I do my long run, I'm thinking about taking a flatter route just to see if running that higher elevation route has given me some leg stability for a longer run that's flat. Because that was the whole idea, was to get longer runs in on a harder terrain. Then when I get to the next marathon, it won't be as bad. That was my whole theory. Well, I'm going to test that out because with this being week 6 of a 9-week training, this will probably be my last really long run, and I want it to be a quality run. So anyway, last Saturday we did 17 long in the heat. Sunday, I've been doing this for the last 3 weeks where I run 17 miles on Saturday, and then I follow it up with like a 6 to 7 mile run on Sunday. So like no break between it. I actually felt pretty good last Sunday. Did 6.8 miles, no problem. Then the heat wave hit. And Monday was the beginning of this like muggy, hot, sunny, just, and I was excited for it because one of the things that I take pride in is, ran all winter. My lowest temperature that I have on record this year is -4. I swear I had a -8 in there somewhere, but it might have been at the end of 2025. But I have a -4 degrees is my lowest, and I'm chasing a 94-degree day. I'm sure I'll get it. But this week we didn't get there. We got close. We got in the high 80s, low 90s, like 91, 92. But man, the humidity was just unbearable. So Monday, I was excited to go out and run in this heat. I get out there, and I don't think this has specifically ever happened. So I've had moments where I had to go to the bathroom, and I walked home and called it quits. Sometimes I go home, go to the bathroom, and then just run it. Get back out there and run it. This time I ate. This is always a bad idea, but I ate beforehand, and this was after my first Mondays are tough because Sunday night is my first night of work, so my sleep already is compromised a little bit. But the understanding in my mind is if I eat it on Sunday and don't sleep too much Sunday into Monday, my week will start off. I'll be tired and it'll go fine. Well, I get out there to run in this heat, and initially I felt good. I get 2 miles in, and I'm like, okay, we're cooking. Literally cooking. But then I took a gel, or I ate a Rice Krispie treat or something. I don't know. I ate something. And I just started to get that like dizzy feeling where you're just like, man, this is brutal. And so I felt it coming on. So I started chugging my electrolyte drinks. Like I was trying to like, maybe I'm not taking in enough fluid. So I started putting that away. I drank way more than I should have in terms of like the distance I was going to run. I had 2 500 milliliter bottles, and I drank one whole 500 milliliter at the 2 mile mark. And then I was walking. I was kind of like pacing myself. And I was like, I don't think I have it today. So I literally called it. I called the run. I stopped my watch and walked 2 miles back. I didn't even log the 2 miles back because I couldn't run. Like I suppose physically I could have ran, but I could feel myself literally like hitting a wall and just like falling apart. So walked home, did two miles on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I quit putting in my notes. It was a hot one because they were all brutally hot. But Tuesday was a good day. I got 9 miles in, felt good. Wednesday we did 7, and then Thursday, I showed you guys my sleep a little bit earlier in the episode. By this time, the sleep problem was getting I was feeling the effects of the sleep. In fact, I got 9 hours of sleep last night, and I'm still kind of like, ugh. So I was like, you got to go home and get some sleep. So I went home, didn't sleep great on Thursday. And then yesterday, I already described that day, had the interview with Chad, and then had the second interview with Chad because I forgot to hit record. And then my dad texts me and says, hey, can you come look at a car with me? Because they're looking at buying a car. He also had a few projects that he needed me to work on as well. I had to move an air conditioner for them. And then he's tearing apart his old Ford, and he's just doing like a water pump. But there was one on the fan hub. There was one small screw that because the fan hub kept turning, he couldn't get it loose. So I helped him with that. So this gets me to like 2:30 p.m., which normally I go to bed around 1. So it's way past my bedtime. I go to a restaurant to get some food because, this is a bad decision. But whenever you're tired and exhausted, you just feel like you need something. So I got some terrible food from a local place. They do hot dogs and burgers. And I just ate that. And I was like thinking I might go to bed after that. But then I was like, maybe I just don't go to bed at all. So Friday at that point, it was like 3 o'clock when I got home. I was eating lunch at 3. I was like, I'm not running today. I don't think I've had a day off from running in a while. I did like a 70 or 80 day streak followed by 1 day off. And then I don't think I've had but 1 or 2 days since then. So it's been a very consistent series of runs and training block and all that. So I just took the day off, and then finally started tearing apart that air conditioner, got that cleaned up, and I was like dragging. I mean, it was hot, doing all this work, and about 5:30, I said, you know what? I need to get to bed. This is ridiculous. So I took a shower, cleaned up from working on the air conditioner, didn't run on Friday, woke up this morning around 4 a.m., July 4th, and came in here. So it's been a rough week in terms of the training. I would say the first half of the week was pretty good, minus that Monday run, which was just me. I think that was my first real hot run. Looking forward, like right now, as I think about it, I'm probably going to do my long run tomorrow and just let the 4th of July be the 4th of July. The weather's supposed to turn pretty nasty here too for a couple hours here in the afternoon. So might just push the long run to Sunday and call that good. Maybe just do a few today. So, but that's where we're at. Marathon training week 6, heading into week 7. I'm going to start, I think I'm going to start tapering, but the way I'm going to taper for this, I think I'm about 3 weeks out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce my long run and keep my mid-range runs during the week up there. I'm also in a step challenge at work, so I need to make sure I keep my steps up each day. So this week I'll probably reduce by like 25%, and most of that will come off the long run. So I'm thinking about doing 18 to 20 tomorrow. That'll be my last long run. I don't know. I'm thinking about that one. I'm not sure about that one. But it won't be on the hills. So that's my theory. So I'm thinking about 18 to 20 tomorrow. or today if I get out there. And then next week, going into the end of the training block, I'm going to drop by like 3 miles each week. So that's the plan. My only takeaway from this week's weekly update or marathon training, whatever you want to look at it, my takeaway is you have to sleep. You got to find a way to get sleep. It's hard when you're on night shift for me specifically with this heat, but you got to find a way. So that's going to be a priority for me this week. I'm basically going to focus on getting these clips out and getting my runs in and letting that be the whole thing. So that'll be my next week. I've noticed as I've gone back and clipped these episodes, I don't do anything I say I'm going to do. Like I have these plans. Like I'll listen to these recaps and I'll be like, you said you said 2 weeks prior that you were going to do this and you didn't do it. And it's like funny because when I'm clipping it, I see that week to week. So it's just like, okay, things don't always go the way you want them to. But anyway, my takeaway is get some sleep. Enjoy the 4th of July. We're heading into week 7. We got week 7, 8, 9. I'm thinking 8, 9 will probably be pretty decent tapers. But I will say this. We'll end with this for the weekly update. My legs feel great, which has not been the case heading into either of my marathons. So little mild pain in my right calf that continues to just kind of irritate me. But I'm not worried about it because I'm planning my expectation is that will subside when I get into the taper. So I haven't been worried about that at all. But yeah, that's the end of our weekly update.
No quit. Building their wall. While they talk about us. All they talk about us. Educated. Experienced. Still not credible. So we embraced it. Now we're uncredible.